Now, have you ever thought about being a stunt woman, Leanna?
To be honest, 100% yes. When I was younger, I used to watch Xena Warrior Princess, and I thought, I could be her, or I could be her stunt double.
Right. Does she ride horses? Because it seems like there's a lot of horse riding and stunt. When you do stunt
Yeah, and that's
doubling.
the one thing that was a bit of a stitch up for me because I'm allergic to horses. So I realised as I got older that I probably couldn't be a stunt woman.
Yeah, well, it's very serious when they think you're doing a stunt and you're actually dying.
Exactly.
We have someone who is actually a stunt woman training to be one in studio with us today. A huge welcome to Diane Davenport. Welcome to the couch.
Thank you so much, guys. Good to be here. And I was just going to say that maybe they can get a stunt double for the horse as well, so it's not an actual horse, and then you could go on set.
Oh,
That's a good idea.
There we go. That would be amazing. It was honestly my dream to be a stunt double when I was younger, so it's really cool to have you here, Di. How did you get into doing stunts?
Okay, so it's kind of a random story, but I was watching Charlie's Angels one day. Have you seen the latest one? No,
Come
the
on
latest
now.
one.
Oh,
Latest
no, I
one.
haven't.
Oh, yes.
With Kristen Stewart.
Yes, Kristen Stewart, yeah.
I just watched it last week.
Yeah, it's
It's great.
Such a great opening, and that I was looking at that, and she, if you remember, she starts off trying to disable a bad guy from the ceiling.
Yes.
And she's all wrapped up in the curtains. And at the time, I was training in aerial silk in circus, and I was like, I could do that. That's a stunt that I could do. Where do I learn to advance to making it a stunt? And so I researched a little, did some Googling, and it turns out there's a stunt school right here in New Zealand, in Auckland.
That's amazing.
And so that was it. I signed up, and I've been training ever since.
So what sort of stunts are you mostly doing at the moment? And have you been in any movies that we may have heard of that you're allowed to talk about?
Oh, okay. So nothing that I can talk about presently.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, but I have been training in a wide variety of different sort of disciplines, because that's the reality of stunts, is that, you know, it can range from learning how to trip on a curb to like hanging up in wires and learning how to flip, and riding horses, doing a sword choreography, tactical stuff. So it's very varied, so the training is never ending, and yeah, anything really can be a stunt.
How often do you train a week? Because obviously if you're doing things for movies, you're taking this quite seriously.
I think I'm just taking it a day at a time, so I'm just trying to put one foot in front of the other. So at the moment I'm doing at least 2 days of some serious training, and then I'll try to do a little bit of conditioning every day just to keep the chops up.
Yeah, what does conditioning look like? Do you mean like physical activity, like training?
Yeah, just trying to keep the body well stretched, well conditioned, you know, doing a couple of reps of push-ups.
Is that to prevent like injury and stuff like that? 'Cause
Yeah.
obviously you're doing things that are stunts so that the actors don't have to, because they're quite dangerous, right?
Yes.
But you also don't want to get injured, otherwise you can't work.
That's a good point. I mean, I think I've resigned myself to the fact that it probably will happen at some point in time, but if I can prevent it, then, you know, I'm gonna do my best to do that, and that just involves preparing every day, doing a little bit for my body and trying to take care of it, and making sure that I take the rest as well when I need it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So do you have to look like, do you get cast as a stunt woman for someone that looks like you or somewhat similar, or can you be a stunt woman for basically anyone?
You do. It does come down a lot to the looks. So if you, they might have to put a wig on you or something like that, but generally if you look like the actor that you're trying to double, then, you know,
It's a lot easier.
It is a lot easier to get
work
into it, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
So Di, I have actually seen videos of you doing your stunt work on Facebook, and it looks really fun, really cool. First of all, what is your favourite kind of move that you've done? Because you're doing things on horses, you're doing flips, you're doing things with swords. What's your favourite?
The latest and the most favourite, I would have to say, is wires. So that's when they, you know, you have a harness on, and then they're attached to wires, and then they'll be like, you know, action, and then you have to, you know, get pulled.
Cool.
And do a stunt or do a flip while, you know, stuff is going.
Someone's like kicking you and you're flying back in midair, that type of vibe.
Exactly.
Very, very nice.
Yeah, that's amazing. Could you teach one of us to punch the other one in the face.
Why don't you do it with Di?
Oh yeah, do you want to punch me in the face? Okay. Can you do it without hurting me?
Well, you don't. You're not supposed to.
Well, I know they don't actually punch people in the face in the movie, right?
That's right. So we're always very careful about our distancing and making sure that it doesn't actually connect. It's both actors' jobs, both stunt people's jobs, to make sure that your timing and your spacing is correct, so that you're not actually hurting each other.
Right.
Okay, so
right.
I'm just going to put a stop to the practice there, since there's only one professional in the room.
No, I did it. I was in a play once and I had to punch someone and I had to go like that. Like, I had to hit my shoulder there, like that with that hand, as I went like that. So it sounded like I hit them.
Oh, yeah. Well, there we go. We're halfway there.
Yeah, and I had to pull someone by the hair, a girl, and you grabbed their hair like that. Like, you grabbed their hair, and then they grabbed your hand like that.
Yes.
And then they slid, like you could drag them along the stage without hurting them.
He's not wrong. That's actually what happens. You just grab on top of your head, and it's really about the person who's being dragged. It's like all their strength.
Well, I wouldn't trust you.
I've career-proofed myself in case I get fired off Shine today. Di, what would you say to someone who's watching today and is thinking, oh, that sounds like a fun job that I might like to do one day?
I would say go for it. I honestly have been so impressed with the range of people I've seen in this industry, from really young people to very senior people.
Cool.
And we need all sorts of people in the film industry because we don't just look like one type. And I think I didn't start with a foundation of an active lifestyle. Like, I was only active in my 30s, and I was, I just started with no gymnastic background or anything that you think that would be suitable for stunts. So it's just been putting one foot in front of the other and just making sure that you turn up, you do what it takes to just improve to the next level, and you're surprised at where you end up.
Cool. Oh, Di, it's been so interesting talking to you. Thank you so much for coming to Shine tonight, and talking to us about your stunts.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me.